Gary G in the morning. Young Mister on GJRB Online with Is Anybody Out There? Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Across America, especially on the West Coast, and some of our listeners who are just a little bit earlier in the morning, especially in the Mountain and Pacific time zones, all the way up to Alaska. Great music and wake up time, and wake up time now at 10:08 Central Daylight Time, 9:08 Mountain, 8:08 a.m. Pacific Time, and 8 minutes after 7 o'clock in Alaska right now. And I'm Gary J. Russell. Good morning from across America, from Clinton, Iowa, Clinton's North End, right there, just above the Lion Shopping District in downtown Clinton. And welcome to Gary J in the Morning. Weather, news, sports page, all that good stuff. Just a great way to wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, it can be a tough one to get up. It's a tough part of the day. You gotta wonder sometimes. You know, you wake up from a nap, you get up real easy, but that morning hour, getting up at 7 o'clock, maybe even early as 6, 5 o'clock. I mean, you take a look at that. It can be complicated for some people. I'm telling you. And, I myself like to have morning news, music, that morning DJ, because, growing up in Pittsburgh and growing up and living actually working in Chicago, I always loved the morning DJs, and I always listened to the morning radio. People put on their television in the morning and watch Good Morning America and the Today Show and all that stuff. But I'll tell you what, nothing beats the morning radio. It doesn't beats that morning DJ and the news and information, because really, TV has its prime time between 8 p.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time, with, of course, being when you go back to the Pacific, it's back to 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. And on radio, prime time for radio is always the morning and the afternoon drive. That is prime time for radio. That's where radio makes the most money. That's when radio is entertaining people coming home from work or going to work. Car radios are always playing. And it was always like that for years and years and years and years and years. And I always enjoyed and always wanted at one time and another in my life, if I was going to have a working radio, I at least wanted one morning shift at one point in my time, if I were ever to do radio. And I think every DJ, every person that works in radio, usually will eventually have a morning show, will eventually get that morning shift. Usually the radio stations start their DJs with that overnight shift. It always seems to be the graveyard shift. They always start the DJs on the graveyard shift when they hire them, from what I understand. And then they pull them around into the different day parts. And I guess they try them in different day parts by fill-ins and stuff like that. But you know what? The morning radio is fun. And for a lot of years back here on the other side of Clinton, before I even knew Spreaker, wish I would have had Spreaker back then. I really wish I would have had Spreaker back then, because I tell you what, I probably would have done a morning show. And it would have been absolutely fabulous if I would have had internet and there would have been Spreaker back then, because I would have been on the air at 5 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, 5 a.m. Central Time. You imagine? That's 3 a.m. That's what, 3 a.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. in the Alaska, kind of early for a lot of people. So I would probably be on the air for the people locally, but it would. This is the morning show. Now, if I were to do 9 o'clock in the morning, if I were to start that early, and we're going to try that one Tuesday, start as early as 9, and I would probably do that if I have everything ready in time, because I sometimes don't. I mean, by the time I get the weather up and everything like that and get all my stuff done, It's 10 o'clock's about my best time because I need an hour to get things ready. If I don't have that hour to get things ready, pretty much, somewhere along the line, I guess. So, I mean, if I were to start that early, 9 o'clock in the morning, that would be fabulous. That would be 7 a.m. Pacific, 6 o'clock in Alaska. So, I mean, really, something to think about in that, but, I like it this way. The morning, 10 a.m. Central Daylight, still morning, and technically it's morning for 2 more hours. So, I mean, I get that 2 hours here Central Time, and then I get that extra hour for people in the Mountain Time Zone at 9 a.m., which usually when a lot of people are already at work. But, hey, there's a lot of people who go to work later, Anyway, aside from all that, how was your weekend? I got to tell you, a rough weekend for a lot of people, especially in California. And our Southern California listeners, we're pulling for you with a lot of prayers, and I hope that you get things back together. I know that California's been really rough for you guys, especially, I don't even know if anybody's even getting internet in Southern California to really listen to us. But I hope things get better for you. I hope that the earthquakes stop. Now, the big concern is I've been seeing a lot of articles online saying that the new Madrid fault line is next. That the new Madrid fault line is going to be the next one to be active. And you have to wonder, earthquakes in diverse places. And, God's wake-up call, but, like a post from my sister this past week, somebody's not listening. And, we got to get our act together, folks. Got to tell you, we got to get it together because God's not happy with a lot of people. Really isn't. So we're going to have to, put a prayer in for America because it's breaking up slowly. You have to wonder, what's in the minds of a lot of people that aren't thinking that maybe perhaps we have to stop playing around and start thinking seriously about Jesus Christ and the things He can do for us. And we need to invite Him back into America, because if we don't, it's curtains for us for a lot of people. If you want eternal life, the only way and the only passage to that is Jesus Christ. That's the only way. And we got to really think about that. That there's no other way. He created all of us. And we have to really think seriously. We're going to have some gospel music coming up a little later on, too. I was talking to one of our podcast friends last night, doing his blues show last night, and that was Walter M. DeMall, and he might join us a little later on. Fabulous, man. Great music, great station. Blues in the Night, every Monday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. Absolutely fabulous. Blues music, which I believe it comes out of Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken. And he does a great show, and really does. And we're gonna be pumping him later on, along with other great podcasters, with our regular shout out. So tune in for that. That's a little later on. We'll do our podcast shout outs. I always love doing those. Those are always fun. I love doing podcast shout outs. Get a lot of people out there who are listening to the show. And hey, you might like this one, man. This is great blues. This is a blues band discovered a few years ago, and they are absolutely fabulous. They're called the Rusty Wright Band, and they got a concert coming up. We'll give you details coming up a little later on about that. Someday, after a while, on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker, Gary J in the morning.
I've got to lonesome train. My heart is heavy with aches and pains. Oh, now someday, baby, after a while, you will be sorry. Every day, my skies are gray. It takes you to road, takes each and every one of you fine people that throw my gray skies away. Oh, now someday, baby, after a while, you will be sorry. Trouble's on my mind. Yeah, trouble, way down that line. I don't need none of your, I don't need your sympathy. So babe, don't you pity me. I may be blue, but I don't mind, 'cause I know way down that line. Oh, now someday, baby, after a while, you'll be sorry.
Oh yeah, they're fabulous. Call themselves the Rusty Wright Band. Great blues, man. I'm telling you what. Oh yeah. I discovered them a number of years ago. I can't remember through. I think it might have been through Reverb Nation, if I'm not mistaken. I first heard that song. I thought, man, that is powerful. Awesome piece of music. And great blues at best. And I just discovered them and thought, wow, these guys are just absolutely fabulous. And they are incredible. The sound, the music, the blues was just absolutely fabulous on that song. And it's a great tune, the Rusty Wright Band. And I'll give you details on a concert. I guess they got a show going on. And I'll give you details a little later on here on GJRB Online. Gary J in the morning. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And I hope you'll stay with me throughout the morning with news, weather, sports page coming up. All right here on GJRB. This is the Gary J in the morning show on the GJRB Online Network.
Suicide's increasing among the youth, and many of them playing suicide games. This has to stop. Parents, watch your kids, and if you feel there's something going on and they are considering suicide, please talk to them, help them. And if it seems hopeless, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That number is 1-800-273-8255. They can help. It's free and confidential. Your call will be answered by a trained counselor in a local crisis center. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline can help.
There's a problem on our roads today, and that is the safety of our children boarding and getting off the bus on busy roads. That problem is drivers who don't stop for a school bus when the arm is out, the lights are flashing, and the stop sign is out, leaving kids in danger of getting hit. Violators. And welcome back to the Gary J in the morning show here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me today, bringing you the best in musical entertainment. And wake up to the best in musical entertainment here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And better late than never, time to take a look at our weather on the fives right now. So we're going to take a look at our national temperatures and see what's cooking among our people here today, and see what our weather is. Severe thunderstorm now. Probably some large hail, damaging gusty winds are possible this afternoon over across most of western Wyoming and southern South Dakota and northern Nebraska. There's a high chance for some tropical cyclone formations across the northern Gulf of Mexico by this week, and there's a threat of at least heavy rainfall increasing over the next several days along the Gulf Coast. We'll take a look at that forecast coming up for you right here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker, and let you know exactly what's going on weather-wise for you. Weather on the fives, 25 and 45 minutes past each hour on all music shows, 25 and 55 on all talk shows here on GJRB Online. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Gary J. in the Morning Show. Always a pleasure to bring you the best in musical entertainment here on GJRB, here on Spreaker. And got some really good stuff here. We're going to get into that. Got a lot of really good music for you. And all coming up next, so we're going to give you a brief news update and be right back with more great music coming your way right here on GJRB Online.
Here's your news from Lotus TV. From Lotus TV, here are today's top stories. A Trump cabinet member faces criticism for his role in an earlier case against Jeffrey Epstein. Obamacare faces its biggest challenge since 2012. This is Reuters Now.
And in other news, we'll have a story about that guy that apparently President Trump and Epstein, he got into some big trouble. We're going to talk about that story and a whole lot more coming up close to the hour. Bomb at the top of the clock to keep you on top. GJRB Online News. I'm Gary J. Russin. And right now, let's get back into more great music in the morning on the Gary J. in the Morning Show. Here's Chicago. Sad kind of song, but I like it. From the 80s, Look Away.
Well, you called me up this morning, told me about the new love you found. I said I'm happy for you, I'm really happy for you. Found someone else, I guess I won't be coming round. I guess it's over, baby, it's really over, baby, whoa. And from what you said, I know you've gotten over me. It'll never be the way it used to be. So if it's gotta be this way, don't worry, baby, I can take the news, okay? But if you see me walking by and the tears are in my eyes, look away, baby, look away. And if we meet on the street someday and I don't know what to say, look away, baby, look away. Don't look at me, I don't want you to see me this way. When we both agreed as lovers, we were better off as friends. That's how it had to be. Yeah, that's how it had to be. I tell you I'm fine, but sometimes I just pretend. Wish you were holding me, wish you were still holding me. Oh, I just never thought that I would be replaced so soon. I wasn't prepared to hear those words from you. I know I wanted to be free. Yeah, baby, this is how we wanted it to be. But if you see me walking by and the tears are about the new love you found. I said I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. Baby, you're the meaning in my life. You're the inspiration. You bring feeling to my life. You're the inspiration. Wanna have you near me? I wanna have you hear me say it. No one needs you more than I need.
End times are upon us, and we need to know what's happening. Knowing the truth is key to survival. There are lots of news events going on in the world that have certain significance to end time happenings. Listen, as men and women gather to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy on the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast Wednesdays and run live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB.
Too many times she come home angry just to find her pay with what she's doing. The streets they call her name in the middle of the night and want her for attention. On the dotted line she signs and asks to keep those in mind and let them know my baby's no stranger to cold as an angel. It's where she wants to go. Seven-day weekends and long streaks of drinking ain't something she would do. 24 hours a day on the clock with dumb drunks makes her blue. On the dotted line she signs and asks to keep those in mind and let them know my baby's no stranger to cold as an angel. It's where she wants to go. On the dotted line she signs and asks to keep those in mind and let them know my baby's no stranger to cold as an angel. It's where she wants to go.
Fabulous. The Stockwells on the dotted line, and of course Chicago with Look Away. Yeah, how you doing, everyone? Gary J in the morning, and 15-minute music hours every hour, and a great morning music talk festivities going on the Gary J in the morning show. Sports page coming up. Here's Deanne Sanders.
You think I'd better than standing in the rain. Oh, but I love the way it feels. It's like a good cry on a long sleepless night, waiting for a broken heart to heal. There's nothing like a good rain to wash the dust away. I lose a little yesterday with every drop that falls. So when I let the tears flow, that's my way of letting go. I know I'll make it through the pain. There's nothing like a good rain. It's been a long dry spell, like a use a thunderstorm, hoping clouds will hide all memories, waiting for a cold wind to carry me away from here. Oh, sunshine is the last thing that I need. There's nothing like a good rain to wash the dust away. I lose a little yesterday with every drop that falls. So when I let the tears flow, that's my way of letting go. I know I'll make it through the pain. There's nothing like a good rain to wash the dust away. I lose a little yesterday with every drop that falls. So when I let the tears flow, that's my way of letting go. I know I'll make it through the pain. There's nothing like a good rain. I know I'll make it through the pain. There's nothing like a good rain. Nothing like a good rain.
Yeah, great song. Deanne Sanders and Nothing Like a Good Rain on the Gary J. in the Morning Show. Here on GJRB Online, great country there for you. Coming up, the latest from Jimmy Gentry. And I got a lot of other great music coming your way here on Gary J. in the Morning. Thanks a lot for tuning in to our great show here on Spreaker. Wherever you're listening across this USA, GJRB Online. And happy to be with you this morning. And bringing you the best and the great music for you to wake up to here on Spreaker on GJRB Online. And I'm happy that you could join me today for the best in internet radio, fun, and entertainment. We got some more great music coming your way. Weather on the fives around the corner with some temperatures. But right now it's time for sports.
GJRB Sports Page Update.
Starts now. Yeah. Well, it's a coroner. Going to check out something here. A coroner said that Frank Meza died of multiple blunt force traumatic injuries per his Los Angeles coroner. According to the coroner's office, his death was ruled a suicide. Meza completed an LA marathon in the second time in March, but following investigation, he was disqualified July 3rd. 2 days later, in South Pasadena native found dead in the Los Angeles River. And you might find this interesting that the impressive performance of the New York Mets rookie Pete Alonso, the 2019 Home Run Derby champion. He is good news for New York Mets, who is now 40-50, and mirrored is one of their best Mets ever. Particularly, the team's quite thrilled over this. In fact, the team has almost given away tickets to every one of the 39 remaining home games at Citi Field. Some of the games, though, coming up in the National League this afternoon. Let's take a quick look at that. Excuse me, what's in my throat today? Actually, tonight, no games, but we do have, yeah, you got it. Tonight is the big game. And, Caramel Conservatives up against that tonight. I'm sorry. I might not watch it. The All-Star game tonight. The All-Star game. The American League against the National League. Let's see what happens in that game. Oh, as a matter of fact, I think some of the Cubs are in that game. I think, from what I understand, Baez is, and I'm not sure of Rizzo, but I know it's going to be an interesting game tonight. Let's just see what happens there. Because who won last year? I forgot. I really forgot. I don't know who won last year. Just can't remember nothing anymore. But anyway, should be a good game. Find out tonight what's going on. That's Sports Page Update this hour. And I'll have another one next hour for you. Sports Page Update every hour right here on Spreaker on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the Gary J in the Morning Show here on GJRB Online. And always happy to bring you the best in, musical entertainment. And they got a lot of that coming up. And we got weather on the fives right now. Take a look at our temperatures across America right here and see what's going on. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures in key cities as soon as that pops up there. And then coming up next hour, we'll do our weather on the fives with our friends at Weather Nation. So be prepared for that. That's coming up as soon as this puppy pops up here. And doesn't take forever. It's 81 degrees here in Clinton, Iowa, at our Clinton's North End studios. Los Angeles checking in with 69 degrees under cloudy skies. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, just across there, not too far from us, 81 degrees. It is Salem, Massachusetts, checking in with 83 under sunny skies. Paducah, Kentucky is at 89 degrees and cloudy. Omaha, Nebraska, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies, and North Platte, Nebraska, 76 degrees. Kind of cool area for some sunshine there for North Platte. Again, a high of 76 degrees. Another update coming up at about 25 past. Weather on the fives, 25 and 45 minutes past each hour, right here on GJRB Online. Weather on the fives. And got more great music coming up right here. 50-minute music hours every hour right here on Spreaker, right here on GJRB Online. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the music as much as I do. Take you out to the part two, Jimmy Gentry, and great song called Born to Fly.
A young man in a wheelchair, no feeling in his limbs, taking what life's dealt him with his silly grins. But he's looking to that final day when he can be made new, and he can run and play. And here's a man in prison, paying for his deeds, wants to be with his family, providing for their needs. He's had a change of heart, but still he has to pay. Now he is living for that glorious day. 'Cause he was born to run, born to fly, born to be free like the wind in the trees. When the Savior comes to take him home, he will be free like he was meant to be. A woman in her final days, all her friends gone, trying to remember all that she has done. She talks about those people that help her every day, and she can't wait for heaven, and we often hear her say, that I was born to run, born to fly, born to be free like the wind in the trees. Savior comes to take me home, I will be free like I wanted to be. And I was born to run and born to fly, born to be free like the wind in the trees. When the Savior comes to take us home, we will be free like we were meant to be. Like we were meant to be.
This is the GJRB Online Network.